Have you ever noticed how some women seem to be positive, happy, enthusiastic all the time? And how does it make you feel to be around those kind of people? Isn't their enthusiasm for life contagious? Would you like to be in that situation? If so, then stay watching because I have 7 tips for you on how to rethink happiness. Hi, I'm Dr. Tracey Swift and welcome to Women Over 50 Reclaim Your Mojo, a lifestyle channel devoted to women over 50 and bringing you the latest studies all around positive psychology and various aspects of how to live life with intentionality. So if you're new here, then please click subscribe and click the bell and you'll be alerted to every time there is a new video, and they will all relate to you. If you're a regular visitor, then welcome back. Some people believe that the pursuit of happiness is like chasing after a butterfly, that if you have a net large enough and you have enough patience, you will eventually achieve it. Now, in real life, it's not necessarily a butterfly that you're chasing, but it could be a new job, a better relationship, a nicer home, nicer clothes or things like that you think that once you've achieved them, they will make you happy. Interestingly, the discipline of positive psychology finds that that's not true. Actually, it all starts in your head. Happiness starts from within and then success comes to you. And there have been countless studies done about that. So I'm going to give you 7 ways in which you can be happy starting in your head. The very first way is not to give in to the opinions of others. What is the major motivator for you wanting a new car, a better job? Often it's because you want to impress others. It's important to you because of the social circle that you have, to live in a nice neighborhood, to have a decent standard of living, all those things, the trappings perhaps of wealth that suggest that you have a certain status. If you were the last person on the planet, just forget for a moment that you might feel very lonely and all those other things. But just imagine, bear with me, just imagine you're the last person on the planet. You can have anything you want. You can move into any home, any car, all the best watches, perfumes, etc. How long do you think it would last? The novelty would soon wear off and you'd probably move into something that was comfortable, that you could keep in a comfortable way. Once you stop trying to impress other people, then your own wants and desires are drastically diminished. So tip number 1, be yourself. Don't worry about the opinions of other people. Or as Melody Ross put it in Brave Girls Club Choose Happy, stay in your own life. Tip number 2, nothing has meaning except the meaning we give it. So people often respond to external events, maybe comments or triggers that people say to them or the news they hear, and their happiness, their levels go up and down according to that, because they think, what does it mean? And women, as women, we're particularly susceptible to that. We do say, what does it mean? What does that mean? And so we're always trying to give meaning to things. The problem with giving meaning to things is that can get a certain emotion around that particular event or that trigger. And sometimes that can bring us down. Nothing means anything. There's no good news, there's no bad news. It's all neutral until we give it a meaning. So we don't have to live in a negative situation. We can give positive meanings to things, or we can just accept it is what it is. And if you know me well, you'll know that that's a phrase that I often use. It is what it is, and that's that. It's a typical Yorkshire phrase, and it may seem meaningless at first, but actually it's true. Everything's neutral. Tip number 3 is to be strong, be brave and self-aware. Now, as a woman in your 50s, quite often this is the decade of your life when you're facing big transitions, whether it's aging parents, divorce, widowhood, empty nest syndrome, menopause, And often menopause and those hormonal changes are going to make you feel different, and you react differently to situations than you would have done in the past. So if you find yourself overly teary, frustrated, angry, and you don't know why, and you just feel overwhelmed by situations, what can you do about it? One thing that is a very good tip is to try and ask yourself what the fear is that you have about those situations, or what is it that triggers in you to want to step back and not be brave, not to speak up, to let people take advantage of you. Why are you doing that? And then break it down into smaller and smaller chunks until you can be strong and own yourself, step into your power in just one small way. And by being authentic and true to yourself and having that integrity, then you will feel much, much better and able to cope in those situations. Tip number 4 is to have a go-to thought list. What do I mean by that? Well, have you ever found yourself either sitting in traffic at a red light, or particularly if you're between appointments, you know, even in this post-COVID era of Zoom appointments, you've got 5-10 minutes to kill. What do? Now, previously, you may have actually just scrolled your Twitter feed trying to kill time, but a suggestion is to have a go-to thought list. So, and the underpinning for this are studies that have been done where anticipation of a vacation will actually boost a person's happiness for up to 8 weeks. Wow. So if you had a go-to thought list, for me personally, I use what's on my vision board. So I'm creating the expectation and the anticipation in my mind, and it's my go-to list. You could actually put yourself a little reminder in your phone as to what those items are that you are going to think about. So next time, don't reach for the social media feed, reach for that anticipation dream in your head. Have you ever been in a situation where you have a negative thought loop that just goes round and round in your head? The images are so bright, what people said, you remember it so vividly, and you just cannot get it out of your head? Well, some research that was done at the University of Madrid enables you to make your thought into a material object and then destroy it. Sounds crazy, right? Well, what you need to do is take out a piece of paper, write down those thoughts, write them all down. And once you have that thought written down as a material object, you can discard it. You can put it in the rubbish, or you can burn it, whatever it is, but you must destroy it, because they found that actually if you just put it in your pocket to forget about it, or you thought, yeah, that's that negative thought, I've written it down, I'm actually going to put it away in the drawer for safekeeping and get it out a bit later and review it, it didn't work. So you have to make your thought into a material object, and then you have to destroy it. Tip number 6 is to build new self-care habits. So conscious self-care, it has a component of taking care of your mental well-being as well. Remember, we're talking about how to rethink your way to happiness. So the things that you dwell on, the things that you feed and nourish your mind with are a part of your self-care. So what new things could you do? How could you grow as a person? What new things could you do? Or how can you take care of yourself so that you're not wittering away time, you're not squandering time, but you're actually using it to your advantage? So it might mean for an hour a day, or half an hour a day, or even 15 minutes a day, whatever is appropriate for you, that you take time out to consider your goals, to actually develop your personal time for you in terms of taking care of your mental well-being. And finally, tip number 7 is to take time out to reflect every year. Now, many of us actually make New Year's resolutions, and all of us, when we get to another birthday, think, wow, another year gone. But wouldn't it be great if on your birthday, what you did actually is said, am I happier than I was a year ago? And you can take out a piece of paper and you can write 4 words on that piece of paper. And I'm going to tell you what they are. They're stop, start, more, less. So in order to be happier in the year to come, what do you need to stop doing? What do you need to start doing? What do you want more of in your life? And what do you want less of? And what are you going to do about it? And that will help you to actually seriously check in with yourself and promote your own way to a happier life. It's very much like your very own happiness index. So in conclusion, what you think about contributes to how happy you are. And we've talked about 7 tips. 1, be strong in your opinions. Have your own opinions. Stay in your own life. 2, be careful of the meanings that you attach to events, happenings, and things that people say to you. 3, break your fears down into small chunks so that you can be brave, strong, and step into your power. 4, create a go-to list for thoughts so that whenever you have a few spare minutes, instead of killing time, you're actually feeding your mind with anticipation and expectation of the future. Number 5, destroy negative thoughts and keep them out of your life. Number 6, develop good self-care habits for mental well-being. So number 7 is mentally check in with yourself year by year and create your own happiness index and move positively towards happiness. Next week, I will be posting a video on the second part of the inner game of happiness, which is your emotional happiness, happiness for the heart. Do join me next week and enjoy that video.